Dr. Ruchard Gibbons from First Presbyterian Church, downtown Greenville, is with us this morning. Who had was it just this last weekend?
It was just this last weekend.
This past weekend was a really super huge trip. And where did you go?
I headed to what is known in Scotland as Royal Deeside and was a guest of His Majesty King Charles III and Queen Camilla for the weekend. And so that was a little unusual.
That is. I mean, you have this huge invitation. If I understand this right, you performed a service for them?
I did. At this time of year, between mid-August and mid-September, the royal family will vacation in Scotland. And they vacation in Balmoral Castle. And the church next to it is called Crathy Church. And so I was invited to be the guest speaker at Crathy Church, conducted the service, and then afterwards we went over to Balmoral Castle to join the king for a brief reception and some drinks.
Am I correct in the fact that Queen Elizabeth II, that was one of her favorite homes, her favorite castles?
It was, Liz, absolutely the case. It goes back to 1852. Queen Victoria, Prince Albert bought it for her, and the royal family have kept that tradition since then, and Queen Victoria really loved the Scottish Highlands.
Okay, I have to know. Did you stay in an Airbnb or the castle?
What can I tell you? It was a tent, and my legs and ankles were outside the tent flap.
Stay in a tent outside the castle.
The king's inside. You're like, what's up, man?
Come out, have the s'mores. What was that like? I mean, here you are. You're surrounded by royalty, by a private invitation. You're in a castle with royalty. That's got to be so surreal.
Rob, I think I've been thinking since I got the invitation back in early July, and when you receive the invitation, it's a little overwhelming, quite frankly, and you find it hard to process all of that. And it took me about 40 to 45 minutes to realize, oh my goodness, what am I getting involved in here? And of course, I was thrilled skinny. I was just absolutely delighted. And when I went home, I said to my wife, and this is how I broke it to her, I said, you're going to need to buy a new hat.
Oh.
And at that point, she said, okay, what are you talking about? And then we started, and they tell you, you have to treat it with great confidentiality, and you can't tell anyone. My family didn't know, my congregation didn't know, my staff, my closest pastoral colleagues didn't know. And I can only assume they wanted someone with a very rich Southern accent. That's the only reason I was there.
What the rich Southern Scotland accent.
Oh my God. So I have to know, like, when she understood that you guys, and I'm talking about your wife, that you guys were headed to this service and hanging out with the King and Queen of England, like, did she freak out a little bit? Because I can only imagine.
Sure. She got very quiet for about an hour. And I could see her processing all of the, where will we stay? How will we get there? What will I wear? How many outfits will I need? Do I need to learn to curtsy? What do I say when I engage with members of the family? All of those questions run through your mind, and they all run through your mind at the same time. And that's why it's a little overwhelming.
Right. Dr. Ruchard Gibbons, pastor of First Presbyterian Church, downtown Greenville, who was personally invited with the royal family to be in Scotland at the castle, do the service. What was the message?
Well, Rob, here is how I approached it. One of the difficulties, of course, is do you focus only on the royal family? And I decided not to. And I think most ministers would do the same. You focus on the congregation, you focus on their needs, and of course, you preach in that broad sense, knowing that the Holy Spirit will take it and apply it to different lives of folks at different ages and stages. Now, for example, I was humorous at the beginning, a little humorous at the end, but in the middle, we looked at Ephesians chapter 3, and we looked at that passage where the Apostle Paul says, I am praying for you and praying that the Holy Spirit will strengthen you in your inner being. And I said, now, if you have been struggling over the last 18 months with a spouse who has dementia, or if you've lost a child, or you've been trying to start a family and it just hasn't worked, how do you begin to wrestle through all of that? And we talked of what does it mean to have deep, genuine faith and prayer that not only do you get an answer to, but the prayer itself, that process matures you, makes you grow and develop in your relationship with Christ. So that's kind of where I was at for most of the morning.
And then after the service, you got to spend a little time with the king and the queen. So what was that
We did.
conversation like?
Well, of course, you are thrilled to be at the service, but in the back of your mind, you know you're going to spend time with the king. There was just 4 of us. The queen was busy elsewhere in the palace, but we spent 25 minutes with the king. And you think to yourself, okay, what shall I say? How will I engage? But he is just outstanding at putting you at your ease. He smiled, laughed. It felt as if I was talking to an old friend.
That's good.
We asked about his coronation. We asked about some of the moving moments for him in that coronation, and he spoke at some length about that. He then spoke about Greenville and the Upstate and BMW and Michelin and Boeing and all of that thing. He had done his homework. He wanted to know about the congregation. He wanted to know where their faith was. He wanted to know how are we serving the community. He then talked about his holidays coming up. We talked about his tartan kilt he was wearing. We laughed and joked about family and all sorts of things. And as a dour Scotsman, I'm always suspicious of people when I meet them at first. But I have to tell you, he was just so easy to talk to. Hospitable, warm, engaging. I was so impressed.
Dr. Gibbons, thank you for the time this morning. Next time, can we just hide in your suitcase when you go over?
Please.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Absolutely. And Rob, if you're ever in London, go to the palace, tell them Richard sent you. They'll know how to deal with you. Don't you worry.
They'll give you a tent.
They'll know how to deal with
Yeah,
me.
they'll give you a tent.
Or in the dungeon.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
Scott Watson, who does our news. You're at the grocery store, and what did you just see?
A couple of days ago, pumpkin creamer, my first pumpkin spotting in the store, and it was a pumpkin munchkin Dunkin' creamer, something like that.
Munchkin,
Dunkin'.
pumpkin,
Can't even
Dunkin'.
say it.
Wow.
I just like the name. Okay, so I was also in the grocery store.
Yes, she was.
I found not only the creamer, so this is a Starbucks version, pumpkin spice latte.
That's easier to say.
Yes.
Than the pumpkin Dunkin' Munchkin what?
Munchkin, yeah.
Wow.
Pumpkin Munchkin
Actually,
something, creamer.
creamer.
I like your name.
Dunkin'
much
Pumpkin
better.
Munchkin.
Yeah.
There.
So,
Okay.
So I found that. I also found, the yogurt. There is a Chobani Zero Sugar. It only has 60 calories.
Oh, for real?
And like 11 or 12 protein.
Oh, man.
Pumpkin spice.
Okay.
So we're going to try it.
Nice.
So Rob has one of these.
You want to get, okay, you
Yeah.
want me to try this?
Yes,
All
but
right.
I am also going to, because I like texture in my yogurt, I'm going to put some of the pumpkin spice Cheerios that I found in it.
You brought a lot of pumpkin stuff.
Listen,
What is all this?
I bought everything
You hungry?
that I could find that I could find pumpkin spice. So how is the yogurt? I'm not a fan of pumpkin spice. That's pretty good. I think it's good.
I don't think Rob agrees.
No.
What
Rob's
don't you
face
like?
right now.
Oh, man.
What don't you like about it?
Everything.
Oh, I could. That's good. Okay, so I'm gonna eat that. Okay.
Okay,
Then
what
I
else?
found-
She brought all pumpkin stuff.
So I found these Belvita breakfast bars. So I love these Belvita things. They are so good. They have blueberry. They have cranberry. He's about to spit out the yogurt. That's
Yeah.
hilarious. Okay, so put this in your mouth though. Yeah, try that. So they are breakfast, and
I'm
Ninja
afraid.
and Jake also. No, I bet these are delish.
All right.
Uh-oh.
That Jake just responded positively. What about it?
Listen, I love these Belvita things too,
Yeah.
and this is pretty good.
And again, I don't like pumpkin. That's good. Maybe I do like pumpkin. You don't like anything.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. I feel like I found something that you might like.
What?
It's a Little Debbie pumpkin spice roll.
Oh, no.
Right? So it's like the strawberry roll.
You give me kryptonite. Thank
know.
you. Little Debbie's.
It's like the strawberry roll.
By the way, we're trying everything pumpkin
Yes,
just
we
in
are.
case your alarm just
So
went off.
Jerry just texted 800-447-7234, and she said over the weekend she saw a pumpkin spice protein shake.
What?
Right?
What did it taste like, Jerry? I'm very curious.
Yeah, you got to let us know. So this is like the strawberry thing because it has the icing on the bottom, it looks like.
Oh.
I'm not eating that.
Oh.
That's not good either. I thought you liked pumpkin.
I like Debbie cakes. I don't like
Okay.
this. I
So-
like pumpkin pie. Nothing that you've given me tastes like pumpkin pie.
Well, that's why I don't like the pumpkin spice latte because it feels to me like somebody just pureed up Ninja's face.
She's in heaven.
Like literally eyes were like, no.
She's in heaven.
That's okay. You have
Time for one more thing. What?
the cookie. Do you want to try the cookie? You should have
okay.
a cookie.
Two more things.
Yes, two more things. These are Tate's Bake Shop, which makes a good cookie, by the way. And this is a pumpkin spice cookie. I am not
I'm
gonna.
doing this to myself.
I know.
It's good for your soul.
It is good for your soul.
It's,
Is that one good?
Ninja can have all mine.
Nah.
You don't like it either, Jake.
Nah.
I agree.
That cookie ain't it.
Okay, so the winner of today so far for me is the yogurt, but I think the Belvita breakfast.
We gotta
thing.
move on. We got
okay,
time for one more.
Starbucks PSL that went on sale today, by the way. Dunkin's had it for a while. This is the actual from.
That's Ninja celebrating
I
still.
know, right? Yeah. Oh, love the slurp. And because I don't have one.
I'm gonna have to let Ninja just give you the.
Really?
Yeah, go ahead, Ninja.
It's officially fall now. I don't care what y'all say.
We lit.
There you
Somebody
go.
bring me a scarf.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
Okay, the open mic has opened up on the My HISRadio app.
Oh, pumpkin spice is in a lot of things like coffee. I saw some stuff on Sam's Club, and I've also seen some stuff at Dunkin' and Starbucks. It's really good.
Cutest open mic.
Love her. She was shopping at Sam's for the fam.
Okay, now the open mic just ignited with a lot of comments about pumpkin spice.
Yeah.
So here's a few of them.
Good morning. I think pumpkin spice is a beautiful thing for fall weather and campouts and s'mores, but I'm not a fan when it's 90 degrees outside. I think it's too early.
Man, pumpkin spice is really good. This is Cole Pearson here, and I want to talk about pumpkin spice real quick. Basically, I go to Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, anywhere, and I get pumpkin spice when it's time for that. And also, when we go to the stores and you're smelling those candles, man, this is the best time. I'll be smelling the pumpkin spice. My wife's trying to hurry up and catch up on groceries, and I'm over here like, this smells real nice. So, yeah, I love pumpkin spice.
This is Kathy from Asheville, and I think that there should be no pumpkin spice until after Labor Day. It's going to be 90 or hotter here today. This is not pumpkin spice weather, even with cold drinks. No pumpkin spice until after Labor Day.
The pumpkin spice and pumpkin flavored coffee has been out here for at least 3 weeks in Lexington, South Carolina, which is great. But it's going to be 101 degrees Saturday. I am just not feeling it.
How hot it is and all this pumpkin spice all over the place. It's not fall. You got to have it fall.
No, you don't.
Those all came in through the My HISRadio app and the open mic, by the way.
Listen, Dave texted and he said he and his wife have some of those like K-cups, the little pods of coffee, pumpkin spice. He told me to drop by and get some. Missy, I will say Missy texted and she said, just give me the pie.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with the pumpkin pie. That's the only thing I like pumpkin.
I'm not a fan of the pumpkin spice, but I do love the fact that it signifies, at least in my mind and my heart, that it's fall.
Have the leaves turned color?
I don't care.
Are they on the ground?
I do not
Are you ranking? Is the grass dormant?
I don't care.
It's not time for PS.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
Quite a few people are chiming in with the HISRadio open mic through the My HISRadio app. All things pumpkin spice because I guess it's out today.
Well, it's been out at Dunkin' for a little while, and
Way
some
too
of the local
early.
places,
Too
and
early.
then the Starbucks is out today.
Boy, some people are very opinionated. Just want to let you know. I mean, like here's the first open mic that came in. That should tell you everything right there.
It should.
The big sigh. Listen
It
real
should.
close.
She's
Listen
not happy?
Well, listen. What's that tell you?
She doesn't like it.
That's the open mic that came in. I mean, here's what. Listen, that tells me she's not happy. Let's
Yeah,
listen to the
she's
rest
not.
of it. Let's see.
Yes. I'm
Oh.
ready for pumpkin spice and all things
bow.
Okay, that took a turn.
Yay! She surprised me. I thought, okay. More coming in from the open mic on the My HISRadio app.
Pumpkin spice is in a lot of things.
It sure is. You're absolutely right.
Okay, so there's this place in Kentucky that makes a cold pumpkin spice soup. And they've been doing it. It's a recipe that comes back from the early 1800s. So, Rob, I sing in a choir where you lead worship, and I'm going to find out when you are leading worship. I'm going to make this pumpkin soup for you.
Oh, wow.
Well, okay.
Worship slurp. Worship slurp.
Can you see that? I'll just place it on my guitar.
You know, really, like a little tray right there. Waymaker.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
This guy took to his post and was asking the question on his feed, should I always wear my wedding ring? Some question, huh?
Yeah. So his wife was kind of making it a point that you need to wear your wedding ring all the time. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If the two of you decide that you need to wear them all the time, yes, absolutely. So my husband doesn't wear his all the time, but the nature of his work, it can be dangerous, you know, if he's wearing it.
He works for a telephone company,
Right,
and
right.
so your life depends on him if you want phone service.
Right,
You know, so
exactly.
he's not gonna lose it in a hole.
Yeah.
As he's trying to splice all these wires together.
Exactly.
I totally get that.
Yeah, and so, you know, he would leave it at home on the counter, or not on the counter, but on the dresser, and then put it on when he gets home. We had a discussion not that long ago. He wants a new band that he can wear to work. So, like the
silicone ones?
See, I was like the rubber one. I don't
Yeah.
know what it's made out of, but so we need to kind of come together and decide on
Which one it's going to be?
Yeah.
The good thing is they're cheap. You're
They
talking
are.
under between $10 and $20 for those.
Right. Yeah. Because
Seriously.
the original, you know, the gold or the platinum or whatever you've chosen, they're a little pricey, and so yeah, you don't want them beat up or lost.
I
or
think
anything.
Scott wears his all the time.
I do. And now, should you wear it all the time? I think it's a personal preference. I keep mine on all the time because I'm so afraid that if I take it off and put it somewhere, I'm going to lose it.
I
have
get
a hard
that.
enough time keeping my
100%.
keys straight. So that's why I wear mine all the time.
When I'm at home, sometimes it's off because when I go and I work out, I'm going to ruin it.
Oh, right.
And then when I had a membership at a gym, I would have one of the silicone ones on.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because if I'm ever out in public, here's my rule for me personally, because I want to be accountable. So if I'm out and I'm in public, it's always on. The only time it's off when I'm in public is if I'm leading worship at church and I'm playing my guitar.
And does it get in the way?
Mine does because
Okay.
it's bulky.
It is a little bulky.
Yeah,
But it's a
it's-
man ring, yeah.
It's a man ring. It's bulky, and it gets in the way of when I'm doing chord changes on the
Gotcha.
guitar. So it's off in my pocket when I'm playing, and then it's right back on as soon as I'm done.
Well, so I will say I lost weight, I gained weight, lost weight, gained weight, and we were resizing the ring a lot, and it was kind of expensive. And so I didn't wear it, but I put another ring on that finger for a while. And then earlier this year, my husband and I got a new band. And so now I wear it all the time.
You do. I never see it off of her.
No, I don't. It's not something, once I have it, and like I say, we had downsized that other ring, the initial wedding band, and it's expensive to add the metal back to it, and so that's why I didn't. So I'm grateful to have this one now.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
It's the big question that one guy put on his post. It was a basic question. It was this: should I wear my wedding ring all the time? And then people started chiming in over his post.
Well, I think the cue is his wife wants him to. So, yeah, absolutely.
So we got an open mic in from the My HISRadio app.
I lost my wedding band. That might be part of the reason my first marriage didn't last.
Oh,
Okay.
no. Oh, goodness.
I understand. You know,
Right.
true story. I lost my wedding ring last year. It was gone for 3 months. So I bought one of the silicone rings to put on. I'm going, it's got to show up somewhere. It finally showed up and dropped out of my pocket in one of my shorts on the floor in the closet.
Did it make
We're
it
like,
through several cycles of the washing
I
machine?
don't know, but I'm like, thank you, Jesus.
Yes.
Wow.
It showed
Because I do
up.
not want to walk around without one on.
Right. Well, you've got that little tan line. That helps a little bit up under it.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Keely texted and said, okay, my husband is a diesel mechanic, so we bought a set of 6 different color silicone bands that he wears to work. They were like $15 or whatever on Amazon, and he changes the color of the band every time they go out. So he likes styling. He's a styling profile.
Yeah, it's a piece of the clothing now.
Right? And then we have somebody that said, my husband and I have matching tattoos on our ring finger, so we aren't... it's always a reminder because they've always got the tattoo, so it's for life.
I know a lot of people who do that.
Yeah.
Because they if their ring is off,
Right.
they have the tattoo around their ring finger.
Well, which I think is very cool, but ouchie. Heather, my husband and I have the silicone rings. It just works better for their jobs. Plus, she must work in a hospital or something, doctor's office, so she wears like her uniform, and it's a pop of color. She's got a pink one. She sent us a picture.
It's a splash of color.
It is a splash
Little
of color.
pop of color.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
Some exciting news. Oh, this is so great. There are wedding bells in the air. Oh, that's so nice.
It's so sweet. Radley and Frisky fell in love.
Oh.
And they're getting married. He got down on one knee. They were in Bali. Which is super cool.
That is amazing.
Taking a little vacay, and he got down on one knee and popped the question. Of course, she's like, oh my goodness. Actually, it was more like, oh my goodness, mate.
Okay, so it's in England?
It's in Australia, mate.
Oh, that's Australian
Did that
accent.
Did that not, was it not
Hey,
quite?
that sounds like perfection to me.
So this is from Bluey, and this is Bingo.
Oh, wait a minute. You're talking about a cartoon?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about real people here.
No, well, it might as well be real. We're so invested.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is from Bluey. Bingo's uncle popped the question to his lady love Frisky.
Very nice.
And they say they are going to have a wedding in the spring. Now, keep in mind, this is Australia, so that means spring starts next week or next month. And so sometime between September and November, they're going to be getting married.
That's very nice.
Yeah. It's so
Thanks for informing us.
Listen, they have Facebook pages for these people. There's
Really?
Facebook groups.
People?
Okay, for these shows.
Thank you.
Sorry.
People?
I'm a little more invested in Bluey maybe than Rob is. But so they have all these groups. Like if you're going to throw a birthday party based on Bluey, you can share ideas. Then there's another page for the show and for the characters.
So, Ninja, I believe, didn't you watch this yesterday?
Not yesterday, but there have been many a times where I'll sit on the couch and turn Bluey on because I want some happy thoughts.
Not just that, but it's clean, right?
It is. It's good for the family. I personally, and I don't watch it all the time, but I have never seen anything that makes me, clutch my pearls and like, oh my goodness, I can't have my kids watch this.
Because there's some shows, even cartoons, that'll do that, right?
Listen, sometimes it's like, that the kids aren't really kind of aware maybe of what's going on.
Because Ninja was making a point earlier, at least I watch it because it's clean, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, because, Rob's right. There are some cartoons that will take you aback a little bit.
Well, listen, of all things, I watch HGTV because I'd rather watch a clean show than something that's going to throw some stuff that I don't want to see.
Okay, so now the next thing is to get you watching Bluey.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
About 5 days to get in on this.
What's that?
If you still get DVDs shipped to your home from Netflix.
Who does that anymore?
There's some people.
Okay.
We still have a DVD player. It's not plugged up. It's just in a closet somewhere. I know. It's
just sitting there.
I'm horrible. I'm like, I'll use this one day. No, you won't. Okay. Anyway.
Every now and then we use the Blu-ray that we have. Yeah. Every now and then because we still have some Blu-ray discs around the house.
I have a ton of DVDs. A ton. Never play them.
Time for a yard sale.
I know, kind of. Hello. So Netflix, if you have this service where they send you the DVDs, you send them back. By August 29th, you got to go into your queue of the movies that you want to see. And you've got to move them to like the top, like the ones that you really love. You got to move them to the top because on September 29th.
That's next Tuesday.
Yeah. Netflix is shutting the whole thing down. Not Netflix on your app.
Not the streaming,
but
just the DVDs.
Right. So they're going to shut that whole service down. If you are one of the people that is lucky enough you could win 10 DVDs. They're going to just mail them to you. The ones that are in your queue.
Whoopie-doo.
Well, I mean, if that's your service and you're like, oh, no, it's going away.
I want free DVDs.
Yeah, how am I going to watch my favorite
They
movies?
should just let you keep them. If they're getting away or getting rid of them, just let you keep them.
Right, because if you're ordering over the next month or so, why would you not? Why would
You
they not
can't,
just say?
because it's done Tuesday.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's not done Tuesday. The contest, like you have to move your favorites.
So
to a
when do
certain
they
place.
stop doing the DVDs?
September 29th. So you'll have a whole month to see
Okay,
if you're
then.
going
All right.
to get your DVDs
But
for free.
Streaming is everything. I mean, Red Rock's still not Red Rocks, but Red Box.
Oh, I was like, Redbox.
I know. I feel like going to a concert. Red Box.
Yes.
There's still a lot of those that are around, but I don't know anybody else who uses that because you can stream everything.
I almost feel like they're getting rid of the Red Boxes. Well.
Are they really?
Not 100% on that. Don't take that to the bank. But I'm almost positive I
You
read
heard that, saw that somewhere.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. And it makes sense. I mean, if they're giving all the DVDs away to people, then
That's Netflix.
isn't Redbox from Netflix?
No. Totally different service.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
So where Cornelia and Riley work, evidently there's not like a nepotism clause where you can't like work with a spouse or a family member or something like that.
Is that what that means?
Yeah. So
What'd you call it?
Nepotism?
Okay.
So it must be okay because Riley and Cornelia have worked together for a good long while at a couple of different places. They work for a TV station, and they started working together like in Montana. Both moved to Tennessee. So Cornelia's on the air not that long ago. She's doing her thing. She's doing her newscast.
So they're newscasters.
Yes.
Okay.
All of a sudden, here comes Riley, and I'm sure she actually throws like the story to him that he's going to report on something, and this is kind of what happened.
And other aspects of my life, and I thought it'd be fitting to ask you this question here since we met in news. Cornelia Nicholson.
Oh, you feel what's happening. He walks behind the news desk and then kneels.
With flowers.
Would you marry me?
Here it comes.
I'm gonna cry, yeah. Are you okay?
Opens up the box.
Yeah. I gotta put it on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be a yes.
And she does. I don't know. You could barely hear it, but she's like, yeah. Just barely says the yeah.
So congratulations.
No. And I love that he's like, you want me to put it on? And she's just like, and I feel for her in a way because she is sort of like, I'm here at the news desk and I've got to do news here in a second.
How am I going to get through this?
Mascara and lashes are everywhere.
Go to commercial, right? Scott Watson, you're connected to this news station. So I told you he's the legend of radio, right?
Legend.
You're connected to this news station
Of
somehow.
media.
When I was in college, I was an intern in the newsroom at that television station.
Isn't that
For a
wild?
semester.
Did you
Yeah.
know them? Were they there?
No, this was, 30 years ago or something.
He cannot be a legend
Long time
if
ago.
he has been doing this for 30 some odd
So,
years.
well,
Yeah.
congratulations to what could have been your coworkers.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
This is in Seattle, where the horses race in Seattle. And lined up at the starting gate, as soon as it opens up, the race begins with a bunch of people from an insurance company that are in prehistoric T-Rex blow-up outfits. You know the costumes?
Yes, I do.
And when you see them run, it's the funniest thing.
Oh.
And you have like athletes in these things that are really racing hard to win.
Well, even an athlete in one of these costumes is going to have a harder time.
Yeah.
They're
and
restricting.
It's fun. I mean, some are falling down.
Well, yeah.
Some are racing. You see the T-Rex heads bobble up and down. It is hilarious.
And how many people? There's like 50. How many
There's
people?
a lot. Yeah. You're talking 48, 50 that went through waves of this race. It was a competition. Somebody would win.
Oh.
One person kind of leaped forward to get his head over the race line before the other one.
Well, you can't extend those little arms.
No, right? It was crazy. It was a 100-yard dash and everything. I think a guy from Hawaii in the insurance company won.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That is so fun. So we had a trunk or treat at our church. This has been years ago. And one of the pastor's daughters dressed up in one of these costumes. And she would run around. It was the most hilarious. Just her just running around the whole
In
parking
that
lot.
T-Rex
In the
blow-up
T-Rex.
outfit? Yeah, those
Yes.
are great.